we are. Hidden Pros Podcast. Welcome, George. How we doing? Emmy?
We're wonderful.
All right. We are
Christmas edition.
We are festive in the Christmas household of.
It's not even Thanksgiving yet, but it's Christmas edition.
Yes, Christmas edition, pre-Thanksgiving in the house of Claire. So thank you, Claire, for all of that stuff. So this is week 11. We're coming up on our 10th game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Niners came out of their bye week, rested and hungry. They traveled all the way to Florida to visit the Jaguars, who are riding a 5-game win streak, and we're also coming off of their own bye week.
Land of the Bosas.
The land of the Bosas. What we thought would be a battle royale, turned into a Niner cruise ship ride.
Oh, wow.
As the defense dominated with 5 sacks, welcome to Chase Young, and came up with 4 turnovers. Offense also got back on track with QB Brock Purdy looking great once again, and all of the supporting crew chipping in, resulting in a very comfortable 34-3 victory. Wow. Now we're back at home prepping for the 4-5 Buccaneers. Battle of the Bay, they call it.
Ooh.
Tampa Bay. Yeah, okay, anyway.
All
right. Who had lost 4 in a row, but last week squeaked out a tough 20-6 victory over the hapless Titans. So here we are. All right, George, congratulations. Jaguar victory. So
thank you.
All right, we're down in Florida. We won 34-3. Now 6-3, tied with Seattle for first place in the NFC West. Talk to us about that victory, George. How was the game, and how'd that feel to get that losing streak off your back?
Let's see. Well, going into the bye week with a loss, especially like on a losing streak, never fun. That sourness, that toxicity, it lingers for a while, and it's like one of the only things that you can think about. And fortunately for me, I had an opportunity to go away, hang out with my wife just one-on-one, and was able to let it all flush out, restart a little bit, and get ready to go again, take a deep breath, and realize that the season still a lot to come. So that was great. Getting that dub was fantastic, especially because our punter played really well. Our kicker played really well despite getting iced twice, one by the other team and one by the TV commercials. That was crazy.
Which the double timeout now is the opposing team can't do that.
No, it wasn't them.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
They called a timeout, and then they went to commercial. And so then we were about to kick, and they're like, wait, no, timeout again. Just kidding.
See, that should be violent. They should fine the network for that.
I agree.
That's awful.
Network getting fined. That's tough for you guys.
We have some network people.
Yeah, we'll figure.
Get the dough out. Where's the dough? That's
network.
See. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Anyways, but besides that, our defense played really well. A lot of turnovers, a lot of sacks. You got to see Chase Young, Nick Bosa on the edges. That was really fun. But you really saw, not just because of those two, but you really saw our interior defensive line played at a really, really high level as well. Eric and Hargrave did a great job. Kinlaw did a great job. Givens did a great job. Our guys were rolling there in the interior. Yep. I'm talking about defense. I'm talking about the defense. It's okay. Do you need my
man? Debo is back.
He was back. Emma likes watching Debo run with the ball. Offensively, we were able to get Debo and Trent Williams back. Both superstar players, both with very awesome personalities that are bring a lot of energy to our team, especially on game days. You watch us come out with the boombox. That's usually Trent and Debo up front, and it's kind of tough when the boombox guys aren't there for 3 games. And kind of the guys who tried, brought the energy a little bit, but there's nothing like seeing Trent Williams walk out.
There's not.
It's just nothing like it, man. The silverback, he's just a freak. He's a monster. And so I'm very happy to have him back. And, Debo got his touches, and that's all good for us. And so, yeah, overall, fun win.
Can we circle back to the boombox moment for just a moment? Where are you in the line?
50% back. I'm like halfway back.
What's your dance moves like?
I don't dance.
What do you do?
I'm in a completely different state of mind. No, I'm like, my switch is flipped of like violence. That's where I'm at usually.
You still headbutt walls?
Allegedly, yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I went. No, it was not. It was college and NFL. But I go now find a door as opposed to a cinder block wall. It gives a little bit.
Excellent.
Yeah, well,
the helmets are better now.
They are better, and the first hit's always the hardest. So might as well just get out of the way.
Tough.
Talk to us a little bit about Well, just I've experienced this, and we were talking about it earlier, and I just think just for people kind of getting a feel for it, when you're riding a 3-week or 3 losses like that,
Yes.
and you talked about the toxicity of it because it's like it just feeds on itself a little bit. But then with one single win, and this was a big win. I mean, you guys were playing at what we thought was going to be a really tough game, travel all the way across. And then tell me about though, like you guys get back super late or super early morning, right? Like 4 a.m. or whatever it was.
From Jacksonville?
Yeah.
No, we landed like 8 p.m.
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay.
9
Because
p.m.
afternoon
It
game.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay. But then you guys roll in on, and I know Monday's a pretty low day, but
Yeah.
still you cruise into the building.
The vibes are
Like,
immaculate.
Tell us a little bit about how that energetic vibe shift just moves because it's just, it's amazing how great it feels all of a sudden.
Well, you can ask any of my teammates, win or loss, I'm riding pretty high regardless. Like, I hate losing. It really sucks, and it definitely affects a lot of things. But I can flush it pretty quick, and I can move on to the next thing. And that's the nice thing about football. You know, each week you have a new opportunity. So if this one time is bad, hey, well, what am I going to do to change that outcome? And I'm not going to sulk and be sad about something. And I'm going to acknowledge the things that I could do better at. I'm going to try to get better at those throughout practice. I'm going to attack this in a way where I'm going to try to get a win. And so I'm really pretty good at that. I think our expectations of a team are, to be a very, very good football team and, go to the playoffs, make a statement, win a Super Bowl. Like, those are our goals, and that's what we want to do. And so when you lose 3 straight, it's definitely not on your plan, but hey, man, not everything goes according to plan. And, what's football without a little adversity? But you show up this Monday after a win. I mean, music's playing, guys are having a great time, more interactions.
There's a little bit of magic dust.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I'm just saying. I know that overall
is.
everybody tries to do their best. They come in with a good attitude. They're all professionals. They're working hard, but still,
well, people try.
There's just like an extra ounce of air in the building a little bit. You know what I mean? It just feels good.
Yeah, it doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck to win.
Winning's pretty awesome.
All right, go ahead.
What was the plane ride home like?
It was actually really fun. I've gone on rants before, guys, about.
I actually get a lot of questions about this. So
I go on.
People are very curious about your plane rides.
I've gone on rants about these plane rides and how I don't really like the pods because they make me feel lonely because no one's very close for me to have a conversation with, and so I get lonely sometimes. Now I'm in the front pod, which goes down the middle, and so like there's a little window right here, and McCaffrey sits right there, and we talk for a majority of it, or watch a movie, film, whatever it is. But like on the way home, it was fun this week because everyone was kind of up and around having conversations, especially too because it wasn't like super late at night, so everyone's like, it's like you're on the planet. What was it like 4? Would it be like 5, 6 o'clock, right? And you're on the plane, so it's like, well, I'm not going to just go to sleep right now. So everyone's kind of active, open, want to have a conversation, and that was really fun. You just get to talk to a bunch of guys, whether it's coaches, players, and everyone just kind of makes laps, and it's just kind of fun to be in on conversations with, and you never know because you're on a plane, or you just have a random conversation with somebody you don't usually talk to, and learn a lot about your teammates, which is really fun. So it was a great plane ride home for me.
Did you finish Loki?
I did. Phenomenal. I really enjoyed the last 2.5 episodes. That was really well done.
After our last podcast last week, I got inspired, and Cody and I may have binged it in a week.
It's very easy to
really
binge.
fun.
It's very, very
have you
fun.
watched it? Second season of Loki? We've all binged it.
And how good was it?
It was good. Season 2 was really good.
Your mic's great.
Yeah, well, she's not handing me the mic, so she's going to edit me out. But anyway, no, I thought Loki was really good. It was really fun. So if you haven't watched it or something like that, it's
whole foreign thing.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
I know at the end, right?
Guys,
what?
People who haven't seen the show that might want to see it, you can't talk about the end.
Anyway,
spoiler alert.
You can't.
I got to say that for you. Okay, let's run through a couple things. Okay, defense was back to Niner ball. They gave up 221 total yards, only 59 yards rushing, 116-yard passing. Totally shut them down that way. Chase Young, Nick, Eric, and I thought the one I really felt was Hargrave. Just seemed like he was back, like in the way that he had. But I thought Eric played really well, and both of the edge guys were really good. So they had 5 sacks, 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. So all great. And I just thought they were back to playing Niner ball. I mean, it just felt like, that intensity and pressure on the quarterback and just getting things done, making tackles and all that stuff. So just, I don't know whether it was the bye week or just being sick of not playing their ball or whatever, but they just felt like they had a whole new stride to them.
Well, I mean, a week off too definitely gets the batteries rejuvenated.
Yeah.
If you handle it right.
Now that's one rule change I'm going to submit. I think making a team play Monday night and then playing a team that had their 2-week bye, I think that's tough, man. Because just energetically when we played the Bengals, it just felt different. But that's all.
I think we have either 4 or 5 games against this year against teams coming off a bye.
You've had 4 so far. Yeah. So anyway, but I mean, coming off of a Monday night, anyway. So Kamish, talking to you, but okay. Anyway, then offense regained some form. You already talked about that. And you know what it just looked like though? It looked like we were having some fun, which was really cool to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's just shout out to the Niner Nation just for showing up again like that. Close to 60,
Niner Empire.
Okay.
Yeah.
60%
Raider
of the
Nation,
seats.
Niner Empire.
Okay.
Trust
whatever.
me. I got that.
All those dudes in red, ladies and gentlemen in red. It was really fun. Anyway, so they had some fun. 437 total yards, 0 turnovers, which to me, really, if you want to talk any difference in the game, it was that.
Yep.
Big one. Brock, 296 yards, 19 of 26 for 3 TDs and 0 INTs. Looks super comfortable, really in control of things.
Yep.
Made some great plays. And
that he did.
And we're going to get to your touchdown. That play for me just epitomizes Brock Purdy.
Pretty impressive.
Do you know what I mean? The pocket's totally collapsing.
Yep.
And he's looking the dude off. He does a little pump fake because it's not quite ready. And then he gets hit. I mean, the bodies are completely collapsing. And he makes that throw to give you time to make your cut on the man coverage.
Yeah, well, so the first read was Brandon.
Yeah.
And the middle third safety, if he bails, he's ripping it to Brandon, no matter what. Brandon breaks, safety crashes, and that's why you saw like he was ripping it.
Yeah.
And then he caught it. I was like, oh no, well, if that guy's gone, that means George has a one-on-one. So he just looked and launched it.
Right.
I don't know if he even saw me. But then like you look at the offensive line, like, I mean, McKivitz is, as our right tackle, is setting vertically to help out our right guard. And I had to like widen slip the Sam linebacker on the edge, which I don't know if it was 41 or 44. But then he loops around and full speed just runs right through Colton's chest.
Right.
And he was able to anchor and strain just long enough to keep him off because he swipes a hand and he like hits Purdy's left hand.
Yeah.
As Purdy's throwing the right hand and threw up a.
It was close to this. I mean,
he was
on all 3 sides.
It was a hell of a play by everyone involved on offense.
It was all there. But what I was saying about Brock, though, is just that his willingness to stand in there, pressure's coming, and he's, he's getting contact, and he shoots that down to you in a way that, like, he wasn't even, like, set. You know what I mean? He's like,
no, he's just launching.
He's just launching it.
The bionic.
So, anyway, yeah. So, that I just thought he's just so good under pressure that way. So, anyway, all right, CMC, 95 yards rushing, 6 of 10 receiving for 47 yards, total 142 yards, but no touchdown. So we broke the streak. So that's
what we talked about in the team meeting is that Juice is just selfish for that last touchdown. He caught it at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Should have just taken a knee.
That's tough.
For Christian, like, why would you not be thinking about that?
Yeah.
Like, but you know what? The thing we have learned about Juice is he always takes the money. No matter what it is, no matter whose lives are at stake, he's taking the money.
Right. So if he's a survivor and like everybody has to pull on something, but there's a case of money.
Or he'll take the money.
He's the guy that's going to run over and
everyone else will fall into the ocean, and he'll take the money.
The Juice.
Okay. Anyway, guys,
Love
enough
you,
with
Juice.
other Niners. Let's talk about your touchdown, brother. We've talked about Brock Purdy in it. Let's talk about you kind of waltzing into the end zone.
Yeah.
Dragging the toes.
I was. Yeah, I had a great time.
It was great.
It was really fun.
It was great. You made it last for the fans. Like for us watching, you made it last. And I really appreciate that because sometimes it's just over. It's like done.
Yeah, that is a route that I've been running since like, I want to say 2019, maybe. And like, I've caught that pass before, like maybe 2 to 4 times, never scored on it. And because
this season you have?
No, not this season, just in the last 4 years. But usually there's like a safety that's running over the top that tackles, like he helps the corner tackle me. And it's just like, shoot, because like I promise you guys in practice, we run it like 3 days a week and I definitely score at least one of the times a week. We've gotten really good at it. And especially if like there's no safety help over top and it's man coverage and you're I got to go against a linebacker. I need to win those. And just to get the opportunity from Brock and for it to develop in the way that it did, to catch that, have him fall. I did look both ways before walking. I looked over my right shoulder. He was on the ground, looked over my left shoulder, noticed it was within 30 yards. And so, yes, I took my sweet time. getting into the end zone, and I thoroughly enjoyed walking. That was a first for me.
Did you get some grief?
No, none actually.
Nobody said anything.
No, when
KS
we
was
get
okay.
when we get to our ball security meeting, they'll talk to me about that one probably.
What will they say? What will they say?
Oh, hey George, there's clips out there, and you know what? It was actually they showed someone running with the ball. I think might have been Ayuk, and had the ball in one hand, or it was Purdy who had the ball in one hand while he was scrambling. And so then the ball father, Coach Sorensen, he showed up all these clips of guys running the ball in their palm and knocking it off their legs and fumbling it. So now, granted, I had the ball higher, and I was gripping the hell out of that ball with brand new gloves that I'd just gotten at halftime. So it wasn't going anywhere, but I probably won't do that one again.
That's okay. Once in a while.
Well, actually, we have some Ask George and Football 101 questions that are kind of about this. And Todd Mitchell. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd. The first one where Ayuk scored and you almost got a first touchdown.
Yep.
Was that like a miscommunication?
Between who and who?
On the first touchdown to Ayuk, it looks like Brock was pointing him to go to the left post.
Okay.
Was there a miscommunication on that? Because it did look like the A2. Is that a football?
Well, I'll just explain the play. So it's a play out here. It's a keeper.
Sorry, Todd, I'm butchering your question.
It's a keeper out to the left. Brock's rolling out left. I'm on the right side, and I have a low cross, which is 12 to 14 yards on an angle. And I think we're at the 20-yard line. So I'm running, and when I get over there, Ayuk is at the top of his corner route, which is supposed to go to about halfway in the end zone. And he was at the top of his route, and I felt that. So I thought I was about to flatten, and Brock was doing some crazy things with his eyes, like looking this way while pointing that way. I misinterpreted. And I should have kept running. I thought Ayuk was going to be in that corner, and I didn't even have an idea that Ayuk was behind me. And so when Brock threw it, I was like, oh, that's a little high for me. And the guy was on my back. I was like, I don't really have a chance right here. Please, someone be behind me. And Ayuk just had me behind me. So is it a miscommunication? No, I just should have kept running, and I would have had an easy touchdown in the back of the end zone. But, we like to be dramatic sometimes. Something I've learned.
Something we've learned. Okay. Like it. Well, either way, it was good. Nice to see him get a score as well. So
I know.
Okay, let's see.
Do you also know that the Niners are undefeated in games that George and Juice score touchdowns?
I didn't know that.
Yep, Dallas and Jacksonville, undefeated.
2 games?
This season.
Yep.
There's only been 2 games.
Yep.
Ever?
Well, this season.
Oh, this season.
Dude, your expectations are so.
I'm going through games.
I'm going, wait a minute. What about, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just this
All
year,
right.
man.
All right. Let's talk about O-line.
Relax, dude.
All right. So offensive line, they've
Yo.
been under a little bit of critique here and there, and it was hard.
Are they?
Well, I mean, not terrible.
Well, I don't read anything.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
I'm in the dark. I live
so
under
this
a
week,
rock.
they gave up 2 sacks. But
This
thought,
week?
Yeah, but overall, I thought protection was, pretty
One of the sacks could have been not their fault, and the other sack, I don't know. They were both kind of at the end.
Right. I know.
The sack happens 5 seconds in. That's either really good coverage or someone's got to get open.
I'm with you. They weren't like somebody just totally whiffed.
Yeah.
That was great. And you didn't really see that Brock under immediate pressure that way. So that was all really good. Plus, the great thing was came out of there with 144 yards rushing, which
that is good.
That's pretty good.
We ran outside zone very well.
Yeah.
Can I give you a fun tidbit on this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the first game in my career I was on the front side of an outside zone. Whole game, not a single rep.
Oh, that's great.
I was so angry.
Oh. Well,
I like being the tip of the spear.
I know that, but
it's fun.
Stat breaker.
Yeah. I was mad at my tight ends coach.
Can you Football 101 this for us for those who haven't played the position?
Yeah, sure. Just running outside zone at the tight end, so instead of Trent Williams being the lead blocker, and I'm on the backside, and so it's running to the left, and I'm on the right side. So that means I'm cutting somebody off, which I will happily do. You can cut sometimes. You see tight ends cut on the backside. You can dig them out, kick them out, or when you're on the front side. So I'm standing next to Trent Williams, and then we run to the left, or you see those plays where Kyle Juszczyk motions over, and then me and him are blocking the edge defender on the left side. That's being the tip of the spear. I'm the front of the run play, and I like doing that. It's fun. It's physical, and there's less traffic. When you're on the backside, your feet get tangled up, you fall down. Sometimes guys are falling, but when you're at the front, you can make a gap. it's kind of nice. It's actually very nice. So that was the first time in my career I haven't been on the front side, been outside zone.
You know, whole game. That's
Yeah, Charlie got like 4 reps. I was pretty upset.
Does your body feel better recovering post not being tip of the spear?
No, I'm always football's football.
Oh, okay.
Like I still fell and got tackled and got my ribs, hit.
Mm.
Yeah, I got hit a lot. I have bruises. Yeah. It's kind of a big deal.
Okay. Well, the old tip of the spear then. Okay. Well, anyway, shout out to the O-line and great to have Trent back. I think he's still kind of in that recovery stage, but each week he'll be a little bit better. And
That he will be.
And his energy, like you said, and Debo, just having him in the just brings a different juice, and people feel a lot of confidence around.
It's a different juice when they walk out of the.
Yep. All right, and then just going on your catch, George. So you went for 116 yards, 3 receptions with 1 TD, all really good. Now we talked about that, but I just have to mention. So as your father, I get to do this. I know you probably wouldn't, but that puts you in what they call the 500-yard season club for the 7 seasons. So every season that you've been in the league, every season for 7 years, you've had at least 500 yards receiving, which puts you in an exclusive club with only 3 other tight ends.
What we got?
So they are. So Rob Gronkowski, guess how many years?
Rob Gronkowski. I love you.
The Gronk. Okay. Guess how many years Rob had at least 500 yards in a row?
9.
11.
11?
Yeah. I just did a little back search.
That's pretty sick.
All right. Then Keith Jackson.
What a savage.
Keith Jackson. All right. Guess how many years Keith had?
8.
He had 8. Very good.
Thank you.
And the third is Hall of Famer. Interestingly, and we all believe Rob's going to be in, but Keith's not in the Hall of Fame. But the only one of those 3 that's in the Hall of Fame is Ozzie Newsome. Guess how many 500-yard games in a row he had?
Years?
Yep.
12.
7. Only 7. So he's going to bring it up to 3 there. But anyway, that's quite a classic list. So anyway, just shout out.
Sick by Gronk.
That's really sick. I mean, that's hard just to be healthy and all that stuff. So anyway, so shout out. That's a pretty cool thing. So anyway, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Just consistency and being in the game and getting all that stuff done. And
thanks, Claire.
Kind of stuff.
Thanks,
so
Cody.
okay. Anyway, so that's a lot about the Jaguars. And so any big kind of, I always love to ask that, any big picture lesson takeaways? I mean, we still got 8 weeks left, so 9 games down, 8 left to go. Playoffs starting to loom over there, but it's 1 week at a time. So, but what did we learn going to Florida about our team, anything like that?
Well, when we play team football, our defense gets turnovers. Our offense is pretty good at taking advantage of those things. And we're playing good team football right now. That's like one of the big picture things. One of the things that, just being in the league for 7 years, one thing I would love to see is us to get one of those gritty wins. Like I'm never going to complain about winning a game by 30 points. Won't ever complain about that. Like that's awesome. A win is a win. I'll take that. But like finding ways to win is what sometimes makes your team better and allows guys to stand out and like learn, about themselves under pressure. And it's different when you win a game by 30. And like, again, not complaining about it. There's just, when you win close games, your team can grow in different ways.
Let me offer you this encouragement. With the rest of the schedule that you have, I guarantee you will have another opportunity for tough, hard-ass, gritty.
Every Sunday is potential to be gritty.
There's no doubt.
Which one do you think is going to be the greatest?
I'm not going to put any pressure on any of those kind of stuff. So like George said, we always talk about it. Any given
Sunday, Buccaneers are going to be the grittiest.
Because they're this week. This week. And you know what? We're getting our mind right. And the only thing that we're thinking about now
is
Tampa Bay.
There it is.
Okay. Hey, all right. Let me just run through the NFC West standard. Okay. Niners 6-3 beat Jaguars. They play the Bucs.
6-3.
Seattle is 6-3, who beat Washington 29-26 in a barn burner.
They did.
They're at the Rams, so a little inter-conference duel. The Rams 2 weeks ago, because they were on bye. They were on bye this week, but they lost to the Packers 2 weeks ago, 20-3. So they had to sit through an ugly couple weeks with another loss. So again, Rams 4-5 and Seattle. So that's pretty cool. Then the Cards
won.
The Cards won. Now they're
the Falcons
2-8. Yep. Snap 6-game losing streak.
Kyler's back. That's what it is. Kyler's back.
Kyler's back. And you wouldn't have seen any of the interviews with him, but it was hilarious.
Was it?
Well, he was going on about how they want him to take it easy and go slow and all that kind of stuff. And he goes, I'm either in or I'm out. My man was running all over the place.
That mindset.
Yeah, he was all over. So anyway, so they beat Atlanta 25-23, and they are at the Texans, which will be a tough game.
For who? The Texans or the Cardinals?
I think the Cardinals, because Texans, they've won like 4 in a row.
The Texans are balling
3-1.
right now. They just went into Cincinnati and won.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, like they're
They're
Cardinals are the underdog.
for sure.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
a tough road trip for them.
It will be
Anyway,
a tough road trip for them.
'cause
The Cardinals,
Texans-
the Texans are balling. CJ
Texans-
Stroud looks incredible.
He's doing some amazing things. So shout out to him. And
Like I usually I don't watch a lot of football like on the TV because I'm usually playing. But when I do watch the film, like I watch tight ends and then I go back and like whatever game we're preparing for. So like the Texans played Jacksonville week 4, something like that,
Right.
and beat the brakes off them, 34-17 or something like that.
Yeah.
Their defense played really well, and then just watching their offense, CJ Stroud can play quarterback.
Right.
It's pretty impressive. And then their players are playing really well. Dalton Schultz has found a really good spot in that system too.
And shout out to their head coach.
D'Amico.
Yeah.
And Bobby Slowick, their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They're doing a really good job.
Yep. Some Niner
It's fun to
roots.
see.
Niner roots.
And their
there.
defense looks really good.
Okay, let's do a little Bucks preview then. As long as we're here talking about it, shall we? They are
Tampa Bay
the
Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, currently 4-5 all time versus the Niners. What do you think?
How many times have they played?
26. One time?
Niners 15, Bucks 11,
Emmy?
How many times?
26.
26.
What'd you say?
Don't worry about it. Think for yourself.
26.
Split it into 2 numbers.
20.
Okay.
That's 27.
What did you say?
26.
Oh man, I was nervous. I got nervous.
Can we get a calculator?
Oh, microphone. Wait, let me say again. Nobody can hear me.
What? Okay. Anyway, the Bucks are 7 wins. They've lost out of 26. They've lost 19 games to the Niners, including 1 playoff game. So anyway, Niners are now 2-1 versus Bucks since 2018.
So it's
and
19-7.
yeah, we're
Oh,
19.
you're decent. Yeah, good
Yeah,
job.
she wasn't too far off. Yeah.
Still, you're awful. Yeah, just
Counted out the
Okay.
you're unreal.
And we've won the last 2. So that's pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, you just predicted a win. Good job.
All right.
I like
Key
that. That's kinda
players.
sick.
Not bad,
Okay. I just went off. I'm going to do some of the offensive guys. You're going to talk defense in a second.
Yep.
Because you've been doing that.
What do you want me to talk about?
So the 3 guys made the top 100. I just went off of that a little bit and just checked those guys out. So Tristan Wirfs,
Go Hawks.
Iowa guy, great player.
Moved to left
switched
tackle this year.
He switched this year from right tackle to left
I know.
and is having an amazing season.
He always does.
He's an athletic freak. Anyway,
He's
so cool.
Incredible.
Anyway, and then linebacker Levante David
Yep.
at number 71 came in. So he is in his 12th season with the Bucs.
Pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive at 33.
Let me guess, the other guy was Mike Evans.
No, that's what the article I was reading. That's what they guessed.
Well, it's on.
He made honorable mention, as did
He didn't make the top 100 last year.
He did not.
Was he hurt? No. How did he not make the top 100? He had 1,000 yards.
I was thinking the same
These-
thing.
Were you?
It's a commissioner question. Okay, no, wide receiver Chris Goodwin came in at number 9.
Godwin.
Oh yeah, sorry. So anyway, those are the 3 guys on offense. We're going to talk about Baker Mayfield in a minute. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the defense and what you've seen on tape, and who should we be watching for?
Well, firstly, you should be watching for Mike Evans.
Sure.
Yeah, he's incredible. You know what's crazy too? He's had 10 straight years of 1,000 yards. Every year of his career he's had 1,000 yards. Pretty sick, right? And like probably one of the most underrated guys in the NFL who just consistently does it and does it and does it, scores touchdowns, runs, goes, posts, pylons, comebacks. It's pretty impressive. And the thing is, what's fun with him and Baker is that they've developed a pretty good chemistry so far. And so Baker's playing really well at quarterback right now. I mean, like if you look at their past couple games, they're putting up a lot of points. So offensively, there's that. They run the ball. What's the statistic is if they get over 29 rushes, they have a lot of wins. If they get under 29 rushes, they haven't won a game or something like that, or 20 rushes, they haven't won a game.
Let's throw out a couple stats.
Yeah, you throw out your stats.
Okay, Tampa Bay stats versus the Niners stats. Okay, Tampa Bay 22nd in scoring at 19.8 points per game. Niners are 3rd in
What
scoring.
are they? 32 yards per carry.
Oh,
You have that up there?
in rushing?
Yeah.
They're 31st in rushing.
I know.
With 78 yards a game.
I know. I said yards per carry though. They'd be 32nd. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Niners are 6th in rushing with
Pretty
135
impressive.
yards. They're 25th in yards per game total, 316 versus Niners 4th at 394. 8th in points allowed at 19. Niners are second with
Nice.
15.9. And just on the defensive side, 16th in sacks with 25, 14th in interceptions with 8, while the Niners are 20th in sacks at 22.5, boosted by this last weekend, and first in INTs with 2 more at 13.
You love stats.
I love stats. Well, there's a picture being painted if you can see it. Okay, now let's talk about Baker Mayfield and Purdy, because that's where you were going.
You want me to talk about the defense or no?
Did you have any overlap with Baker at OU?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, defense, please.
Defense. Yes.
Well, you're going to do defense?
Yeah, I was going to talk defense. Is that okay?
You want me to talk defense?
Yeah.
You can talk defense.
No, you talk. Okay, I'll talk. Let's see. Well, returning on one of their edges is Anthony Nelson, another Hawkeye, who I used to go against. I think I'm only a year older than him. So we competed a lot when he was a defensive end at Iowa. And talking about their linebackers, I think Shaq Barrett is still he's the other edge on the other side. He's number 7. But 2 guys that we highlighted was Vita, number 50, and Winfield, number 31, are 2 guys that last year when we played the Buccaneers, we were up 28-0 at halftime, and Vita got hurt in the first drive, so didn't play the whole game, and Winfield didn't even dress. So 2 of the guys that we have been looking at didn't play us last year when we blew them out. And another kind of message that I thought was cool from Kyle today was just that when you play a team and you lose, like sometimes, especially like when you get embarrassed, I'd say like when you get blown out, when you lose by more than 30 points, like that's not really fun. That whole game sucks. The playing at home sucks. Driving home sucks. Going in the next day, the whole week, everything stinks.
35-7.
Yeah, 35-7. It's like losing, like it's not fun. And so when you win, hey, it's awesome, great job. What are the things we can get better at? Okay, let's move on. When you lose, yes, you flush, you want to move on, but like you still remember that loss and it stings, right? And so like the next time that you get that opportunity, it's going to be a little bit different. And
especially this one because it's 2 years in a row they're coming to us.
Yeah, they're showing up to us again,
all
and so
the way across country.
So they're coming all the way over here again, and they have similar players that they've had, but they also have a couple new guys, and so yeah, this is not going to be what last year was. This is going to be a gritty football game because, like I said, their offense is putting up points.
Yep.
Their quarterback's not turning the ball over. Their wide receivers are making plays. And while they're not like running the ball super efficiently, they're still running the ball a lot. And if you can run the ball a lot, that means you're on the field a lot. And then their defense, which is interesting, I guess I talked about Winfield and Vita, is that their defensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure, came from the Jaguars. The Jaguars guy came from Bowles, who's the head coach of Tampa Bay. And so the defenses are going to be pretty similar. Besides, I think the Buccaneers blitz a little bit more.
Okay.
So, but the structure is the same. So you might see some similar plays. But it's going to be a challenging game. I'm looking forward to it.
Does that kind of approach when you're playing teams like that with that kind of similarity on that end? Does it make the prep just slightly easier? I mean,
yes and no. Yes, like there is more rollover. Like there's things that there's literally plays that we didn't run last week that we're just copy and pasting over. Right. But like for me, when it comes to installing plays, the second I'm done with the game, flush. And like, while I still I know my playbook. Like I couldn't tell you a play that we ran from 2 weeks ago. Like unless I saw a picture of it, I could be like, I think that was in the game plan. And I flush it because you just have to download so much data week in and week out.
I was gonna say that's because you live in Shanahan's world.
Yes, there's just so much. There's a lot of changes. Not every team is
like that.
No, not every team is like that, and a lot of teams have more carryover. And like I'm not saying that every play that we have is different, but like each week the formation and motions and concepts are just mixed in a way where, okay, we have to rethink about this and learn it a different way. And so, like I said, Sunday ends, flush. On to the next week. And like I could not remember a play from last week.
You don't have to, because this week we're playing the Bucs.
Thank you.
It's getting our mind.
But like Kyle, like we were doing our install, he's like, "Oh, this plays here, and I was like, "Where are those? I think they were plays last week."
Right. Well, it's all good. Okay. Purdy and Baker Mayfield, similar completion rates.
Yep.
68.8% for Purdy, 64.6 for Baker. Similar yards per game. Anybody want to make a guess? Purdy's now at 259 yards per game, while Baker's coming in at 238, but still pretty respectable. And they're pretty close on TDs and interceptions. Brock's leading with 15 TDs and 5 INTs, and
Baker's
Baker,
14-5.
14-5.
Wow, guess
Amazing.
that.
Stat bro.
You are the stat bro.
Stat dad.
I like it. Okay. So we did all that. So we just mentioned that we last played December 2022, Levi's at Levi's Stadium. Niners won 35-7.
That they
George, you went 4 for 5 for 28 yards.
Yeah.
Kind of. Let's see. Ayuk, Debo, and CMC.
I know I did really well in the run game. I had a couple pancakes.
Let's see. 2 of them had TDs, and they all had about 50 yards apiece. And CMC crushed it with 120 yards rushing. So anyway, all right. Anything else about the Bucs you kind of want to talk about? How we've little swag building. We're looking to kind of keep building momentum. Kind of eye on working through the season.
NFC game. That means a lot. Like every game means a lot, but NFC games mean a little bit more because it's our side.
Yep.
So have to get a win.
Right.
Not really any other options.
Yep. Yeah, we got
continue winning. There's teams around us that are going to continue to win
for sure,
and so we need to continue to win to put pressure.
Right. We're not going to talk any weeks down the road. We're just on this week.
Emma wants to talk about every week individually in the future.
They're beautiful. Okay.
That's unreal.
So one game at a time. We're ready to go. Locked and loaded, pretty fresh. Got out of there with really no injuries. So the old Nixon bangs of being in week 11. I mean, it's part of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there we are. Okay. All right. Emma.
It's me.
Here, take that. So we are excited. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit here.
Are we?
We're going to jump in and talk about the Hidden Pearls Studio app launch.
Oh!
So, Emmy, you want me to? Okay. Well, why don't you tell us what it is and tell us a little bit about the format on that platform? So what can people expect if they download
Excellent question.
the Hidden Pearls Studio app?
Excellent question. So over the weekend on 11/11 special portal, we did our soft launch and it went great. So thank you everyone who is now members of the Hidden Pearls podcast or the Hidden Pearls Studio. We have met. Yeah, did I say yes? That's such a little brother thing to do. Anyway,
we sent you a special.
You did get a special code. I'll send it to you again. Either way, we got movement, meditation, and mindfulness. Bruce has his mindful awareness and performance program. I've got all of my yoga stuff, and then George is kind of popping in. We also started doing some minute meditations. I guess all of us at different points in our lives have. Yay! There's the app. Sometimes I'll admit sometimes meditating is really easy, and sometimes it is really, really hard. And so we wanted to offer something for wherever you are. And so the way that we're kind of organizing these is at the beginning of every month, you're going to get an entire kind of new block of classes. There's going to be at least 10 different classes ranging from a foundations class to a breathwork class to a full vinyasa flow practice to some strength. We got some weights, maybe a little Pilates blend, trying to get Claire on the bar. Let's stay on that. Anyway, we'll get her on there eventually. But either way, there's kind of just a range of different things. And the way that we were trying to build it out in, what would we appreciate, and kind of like some different options to choose what is best for you in that moment. So there's kind of a couple classes every month for each of that. And then one of the other things that Kundalini is a really big practice in my life. And it's a form of yoga that I've studied a lot. And so what I really wanted to do was kind of theme the months so that you're kind of always getting some different practices. And so every month you're going to get based off of our yogic numerology system. And if you guys don't know what yogic numerology is, I have an entire yogic anatomy practice and class in there. I filmed it. Cody helped me film it. He was amazing. He's my video guy. Yes, husband. But based off of our yogic anatomy system, there's these different components of who we are. And what I've found is that the more I can honor and accept that there are different parts of me that need a little bit more love and attention at different times during my life, the more, yes, thank you, Dad, the more kind of balanced and centered and true to myself I feel. And kind of as I was studying this, Pop started getting into IFS, and then I kind of started working with an IFS therapist at all and internal family systems. And it's kind of the same thing where honoring these different parts of ourselves can really help us to begin to fully integrate into ourselves as a whole and kind of honor what parts need a little bit more love and attention. And so what we're kind of doing is offering a different focus every month so that you can bring a little bit of awareness to parts that you might be neglecting or might not, have remembered to look at. And so it's a very holistic, whole body, whole person type platform. And we're just real excited about it.
There you go.
There you go.
Pretty exciting. Yeah. So there's a lot on there, and we'll do a little bit more on that as we keep going. And George is contributing. He's kind of a little George corner over there, so he's got some pieces and all that. So we're excited about that.
Actually, on the login page, it's a photo of George. So when you go to log in,
he'll be there. And then
he doesn't
just
know
a few of
this
the little breath practices he likes and some of those kind of things. And let's see. I just did one on kind of our daily devotional that we use, Earth Medicine, which is kind of an indigenous Native American piece, and just our practice around kind of a monthly pulling a medicine card and that kind of stuff, and just kind of talk through ways to do that. And there's a lot of different ways to do that, but I feel like there's just a lot of good stuff if you're curious and just trying to explore. No right or wrongs and no judgment, and just hope you check us out. So it'd be pretty cool. There's George. Okay. All right. That's the energy forecast for November. All right. Are we doing Deanie wine, shoes, or food?
Oh, you want to go get him?
Got him. All right.
You got him on your.
There you go.
Hi. Welcome
Right.
to food, Deanie, wine, Claire, or shoes.
Hey, but Dane and Deanie are back together.
That is true, but they're both sleeping.
They're both sleeping.
So I'm gonna go with. What did you make, D? Okay. So we're just gonna go with shoes. We're not gonna go with Claire. We're just gonna go with just shoes. I know. It was an excuse to get you on the screen. No, the shoes we went with this week. I wore these to the Jacksonville Jaguars game. They're called the Space Tigers. Very fun.
Ooh.
Got some tiger print, some space stuff. They were released in 2008. I like the Dunk SBs. I like all the creativity with them. I think they're very cool. They're fun. They are comfy too. But I was excited to get these finally. You guys can touch them and ooh and ah.
Ooh.
Now,
Oh, I love the.
Ooh,
Thank you.
I love
Thank
the
you.
constellation on them.
It's pretty cool, right?
Wow, there's a lot of really cool details in these.
These are awesome.
And the soles of the shoes are tiger stripes.
Thank you. Yes, I was in the jungle.
Wow, the hot pink is really cool.
It's. I did.
You also showed up sporting. So it's green in there, and there was a combo green shirt that you had on.
I know it did match my Master Chief shirt.
The Master Chief.
Yes, well, this past weekend ish was the anniversary of like Halo 2 and Halo 3 coming out, and then I think either today or yesterday was Halo 1 his anniversary, and so this is an important time in my life because of the amount of hours that I devoted years to that game, specifically Halo 3. That was my game, so I wanted to pay an ode, and I was in the hunting mode. So there's no better hunter than the Master Chief.
There's no doubt. We could take a deep dive. We need to do a Master Chief. I wonder if we can
Who would
get
you
him
pick,
on
Master Chief or John Wick?
Oh,
Really?
I'm going Master Chief.
You have to. I mean, he's in his alien spacesuit.
Yeah.
Right. And he's 6'8".
Well, you think John Wick's tuxedo is gonna go against the shoddy sniper ammo, the combo?
If you have something to say, come say it on camera. Come say it on camera, Cub.
No, it's okay. We'll go next.
Okay.
So yeah, that was that.
Yeah. Anyway, I just know I love the shirt, so that was really good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. We got any questions for Ask George or otherwise?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do one of those.
So Todd, hey Todd. Say what's
Todd's
up,
back
Todd.
again.
Yeah. Todd asked a couple questions.
Oh dear. Okay. Hi
Say
Todd.
what's up, Todd? We all know that Brock. Okay, so pretty much what he's saying is, what do you feel? Okay, we all know that Brock has a lot of toys to play with, but even so,
strong.
he is still making plays. What do you feel is the most impressive about his game? Accuracy, guts, gunslinger mentality, leadership, something else? Can we please get Brock on the podcast? Thanks, Kittles. You're welcome, Todd.
Todd,
We'll work
nice
on
question.
that, Todd.
I'm gonna say my favorite thing about Brock. I think it's a combination between his competitiveness and his like maturity for being a second year guy who, I don't know how old Brock is. I'm going to assume 22, 23 years old, but just the maturity of being able to step in as the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, which is a big deal because the quarterbacks before him, he stands on kind of the shoulders of giants with Montana and Young. And it's just, that pressure might get to certain people. And I'm not saying it doesn't get to Brock, but he does a great job of handling it and just being so consistent every single day. And you can sense his competitiveness and you can sense how he just wants to play at a very high level. It's really cool. And my favorite thing that I've learned in football is like, I love seeing my teammates and those around me to take advantage of their opportunities when they're on a football field, like to go out there and make plays when their numbers are called, because it is difficult. But like you prep the entire year for this moment, you prep your entire life for this moment. And it's crazy. You look back this last year, the Buccaneers that was Brock's first start, right? It was. And the very first play of the game, he made the wrong, he changed the play and he changed it when he wasn't supposed to change the play. Blitzer came through and smoked him. 15-yard penalty, but so it was an explosive. So thanks, Brock. But anyways, but like the thing I love about Brock is he's been prepared and he's been preparing. So like last year when he comes against the Miami Dolphins, and if he wasn't prepared the way that he had prepared and he didn't take advantage of that opportunity, we wouldn't be having this conversation about Brock probably. And the fact that he did everything that was required of him to be prepared and then go out there and not just like take advantage of it, he dominated this opportunity. And that's why, we all are, we're here today because of that. And so I'm just thankful for him to have that competitive nature and his desire to be great. And that uplifts everyone around him.
Amazing.
It's a unique character. You wish everybody would have that characteristic, but not everybody does have that characteristic.
Right. And I guess I'm just going to, on the back of that, just say, and it's not just because he's at the Niners and just in the last 2 months or 2 years. I mean, his entire collegiate career,
he's been grinding.
He started in the Big 12, played for Iowa State, and they played every kind of defense you could play, every blitz you could see, he's seen, and so he's done through all that stuff. So it's
and he also
cool.
like I'm pretty sure it was like his first 2 years he was on a really high trajectory, and then his junior year was like I'm pretty sure pretty tough for him. Bounced back a little bit his senior year, but like he dealt with adversity. He threw bad interceptions. He had bad games, and then he just bounced right back, and he would go out and throw for 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. So like you have to have that resilience, that Gumby nature, so to speak, to be able to bounce back and just continue to attack.
He's been in big games, big stadiums, close games, all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, good question. All right.
Great question, Todd. You're not allowed to ask another one.
No. Okay. All right. Then let's see. Was there
all the questions?
Yeah, I just picked Todd.
Why'd you only pick Todd? Was there any other good ones?
You paid her.
Some back-to-back. I'll look them up while you're sitting.
All right, George. Any kind of mindful moment or mindset moment from the past week that you want to share? Just a moment where you found like awareness surrounding you of your intentional desire to be present in the moment.
Sure. Before every game, my routines are pretty. I do the exact same thing from like Saturday on. It never changes. I mean, honestly, my whole week is pretty similar. Yeah, it's always pretty much the same. You can ask my wife. But the day of the game, I am. Can't confirm. But so day of the game, whenever I'm doing the warm up, I get done with doing like the team warm up, and then I go over and I catch like 20 to 30 passes from Doc, our equipment manager, Dr. Essler, with Charlie and Dwelly. And then Dwelly waits for me to get done. And then once I get done with my catches, Dwelly goes in and I go sit on the bench. I go through like a deep breathing exercise. And, whether it's like I kind of talk to myself, I visualize my process, flipping the switch. And I go through that whole process, which is like, that's a serious process for me because it feels like the switch that is being flipped for me to go out and be the version of myself that I want to be that day. And, breathe in confidence, exhale fear, breathe in belief, exhale doubt, breathe in strength, exhale weakness, violence, soft ass shit, whatever. Like, so I go through like probably 6 to 8 things. I say different words that I'm not going to say on the podcast, but I know I have a potty mouth sometimes. But so I go through that whole, and like when I get up from that.
Did you say exhale soft as shit?
Yeah. Exhale soft ass shit. What I use different words usually.
Yeah.
Anyways, you catch my drift.
Yeah.
But so in that moment, like when I open my eyes and like I take like 3 big deep breaths, like fast, I kind of get the blood pumping and stuff. I exhale, and when I open up, it's just kind of like and then all I have left to do is I do some I'd like catch like 10 more balls while I'm running routes, and then I go do some medicine ball stuff, and I go in and put my pads on and stuff like that. But like in that moment, directly after that, as I was going up, Hafunga was like, "Hey, this kid really wants to play catch with you," and I don't really like. I notice fans on the sideline and stuff like that, but I'm usually pretty dialed in. Besides, like seeing my family on the sideline, you guys and Claire. But I see like how brings her over, and this to be able to like to still like have my switch flipped, but take a deep breath and see this kid who's like this tall, I don't know, 2 feet tall, and he has a sign that says, "All I want for Christmas is to play catch with George." I was like, it's just like a moment of appreciation for that, and I just remember being that kid one time, and it just reflects pretty fast. And played catch with him for 45 seconds, minute. And while I know, like I think he'll have, I think he'll remember that one for a long time. I'll also remember that for a long time because that was really fun. And I don't do that very often. So, but then just to go from that to right back into flipping the switch again to go out there, that was it's an experience. So that was my reflection.
Well, you know what's really cool about that? There's so many different pieces. So, and I just want to say I really appreciate that you did that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that when you practice, you know, working yourself through kind of in that peak performance kind of modality with the visualization, the breath work, and you're in your routine, when you practice that way all the time, and then all of a sudden you get interrupted, it's like you've built in though, because a game is interruptions, a penalty is an interruption.
Timeout,
all that shit happens in a game. And so you have to be able to flow in and flow back to it, you know, and you got to be able to do that in the face of all kinds of stuff. And so the little kid, he was just an opportunity to practice.
Yes, he was
having the switch on without tearing somebody's head off. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, okay. That is really cool. So thank you for sharing that. And I guess the only other one that I'm going to, and this is really cool. We have this set up and I'm just going to bring it up. So Staff Sergeant Chris, and it's Klingsorge, I think. He was, and people might have seen this. So Claire and I, we were on the sidelines at the Jaguars game, and this guy in an all Niner outfit with a buddy, they're down in the first row, and they're kind of hollering and all that kind of stuff. And then somebody comes over and says, "Hey, this guy, you know, he's got something he wants to give to George." So anyway, and so we kind of chat. So Claire goes over. Anyway, so Chris, he gave to George, and some of you have seen this picture, is the uniform that he wore when he was in Afghanistan. And it's got a very nice inscription on it. I think we posted it, but it's really cool.
Pretty cool.
And the flag.
Probably the coolest jersey swap I've ever gotten.
Yeah. And the flag that flew over their camp. Oh, great. Okay. Claire's going to grab it. And a hat. Anyway, so we thought that was all pretty cool. And so we had that exchange. You guys have seen that. So, well, we wanted to say thank you to Chris. And so
thank you, Chris.
We just found out today that Chris and his wife.
Are they?
They are flying from Florida.
So
we're bringing them in. We just found out tonight, actually. So Chris is coming over. We're flying them up. They're flying into San Fran on Friday. They're staying at the team hotel.
Nice.
And we got them sideline passes before the game.
Did we?
We already did. Yep. And we've actually got them in a nice suite.
What's with the chain? I know the chain. Yeah. Come here, Claire.
Intersect, Claire.
Oh, that's the little kid one. Come on in, Claire.
Oh, is that from him?
Yeah. Intersect, Claire.
All right. Okay.
Well, Claire, can you hand it to me over here?
Yes. Could you walk on your arm, please?
Oh, there she is. Everyone can see her hand.
There's Claire's head. Okay.
Here's the jacket.
Anyway, and we just want to say thanks to Chris, and really, I can't tell you how many. So at the Jaguars game, we had 11 vets there that we'd sent and brought to the game from different organizations. We talked about that last week, and then Chris showed up. So we're really proud to bring Chris. And I think this week and this is the Salute to Service week with the Bucs. We've got 20 veterans coming, plus Chris and his wife, and we're really, really proud to do that. And it's been great. And
how many you say?
20.
Are they included in that?
So 22?
22, yeah. So
let's go.
It's just really cool. And I can't tell you. And when Chris texted me back, you know, when we confirmed all this stuff, he just said, I just want you to know, like, I've been a lifelong Niner fan. He said, this has been a dream of mine. I've been kind of stuck in Florida for all these years. And my wife and I love the Niners. And I can't tell you what this means to us. And just a thank you, you know, for me and for all the vets that you guys reach out to. So anyway, so Chris, we're really excited to have you come, and for all the veterans that are coming. And so just the groups that are coming again. So this week, we're bringing Irreverent Warriors again. We talked to you guys about those.
That's fucking cool.
And then we've got guys coming from the California National Guard. and Operation Freedom Paws and Operation Surf. So we're really proud to do that and super glad to bring them. And just, again, a big thank you to everybody that's been a part of this. And we're excited to have Chris.
All right. Okay.
Can you read it?
Yeah, just hold it up. No.
Damn, you look.
You see, you're really far away from me now.
That's falling on it.
Dad, stop
Shut
touching.
up, Bruce.
To George Kittle, as the 49ers Salute to Service nominee on behalf of all military veterans, I want to thank you for all you have done to help my fellow brothers and sisters in arms. Respectfully, Sergeant Chris, Airborne 173rd and 82nd. He also gave me a hat, which I got to wear after the game, and I am continually wearing it. I left that upstairs, though.
So anyway, so we thank
Thank
Chris
you.
and all that. And so it's a pretty
Appreciate it.
cool thing. So very proud to be able to do that. So in
Put that on the jersey wall?
This? Yeah, that's getting framed in the barn.
Yeah. And
For sure.
we have it set up, George, that it actually is going to be a jersey swap.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So Niners are pulling another one of your jerseys. Won't be a game jersey, but it's going to be one. And you're going to have the opportunity to do a little autograph for him.
Perfect.
And we got a little meet and greet set up before the game.
Sick.
A little sideline bump. So that should be pretty fun. So we'll be able to return that. So we're very excited about that. So that should be pretty cool. So we're glad to have those organizations joining us again. And again, just a reminder, Salute to Service this weekend. We're really excited about that and proud to be a part of that. So, all right. So that's pretty close to a wrap. We haven't talked about Hidden Pearls.
Hey, wait.
Oh, go.
Close to a wrap. We're halfway through the script.
Not done.
No, you're not. You have a whole other page.
No, none of that stuff is in.
Oh.
Holy cow.
All right.
That God, Bruce.
Charity of the week.
Okay. Any Hidden Pearls that you want to see? Well, I can't get past. So just being there with Chris and being on the sidelines and just, and honestly, Claire and I, and often it's others, we only got 2 passes for that. Although we ended up with the whole crew down on the sideline because anyway, people looked up, they saw him and got us down there, everybody down there. So Jan and Marty were able to come down. But anyway, but I think, when Claire came back over and Claire's kind of stoic at times, she's pretty dialed into you.
She's dialed.
But I got to say, it was just really impossible to go through what this guy went through, having served, and how much love he had, and just the way it felt. And then when Claire came over and had all this stuff, like I could see the look in her eye, like this was a thing. You know what I mean? To have somebody give that to you as a gift of gratitude. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool. So it just the little things that we can do, I guess, is the reminder. That one little act of kindness can make a big difference in people's lives, and so it's pretty cool that way. So I know, Emmy, Hidden.
I don't know. I mean, I've got a lot of gratitude right now. I feel like Cody and I are kind of settling into off season. Baseball off season is a joke. I just want to say that for any other people dating baseball players or in the baseball world, I feel for you people. It is a joke. It is a joke. Silence, Father. Because it is.
Wait, are we talking about like the time period or like the training?
Short. It is so short. We just got back. So I'm really enjoying a little homemaking with my husband. And I guess just to be up here, because he only got to pick a couple of games to come to. So with him and bringing our special fluff up here is really special. And I guess, honestly, the Hidden Pearls app has been something that we've been talking about doing for the past couple of years. And so the fact that it's out in the world feels really good. So it feels really good. And it feels just like George and I were talking about this last week, but just show up and be great when you can. And if you can't, just try your best the next day. And that's kind of how we got this thing out. So I'm very, very grateful for that. What about you, George? What's your Hidden Pearls?
My hidden pearl is at this moment, my wife's love of decorating for the holidays.
Guaranteed. How many trees we got up?
6. We have 6
The
trees
answer
up.
is 6.
6 trees are up. She has been dialed in. The transition was quick and swift. Halloween and Thanksgiving did not stand a chance. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Claire has been dialed, and the Christmas spirit is alive. There's Christmas trees everywhere. There's lights everywhere. I think, is the house lit up already?
Yes.
Yep, the house has lights on it already. I just looked through a window. Holy shnikes. What is it? The Christmas bar is back on Saturday.
Oh.
Claire takes over my game room and makes it a Christmas bar. It's a Christmas bar, holiday bar. However you want to say that. But yeah, no, Christmas is in full force here. I've not watched my first Christmas movie yet, but I'm pretty sure Claire's watched at least 2 or 3. But here we are. That's what gives me hope. That's my hidden pearl.
Hey, crazy fact: Elf is turning 20. The movie Elf. I saw that on Instagram today. Isn't that weird?
That's tough for
Hey,
everybody.
also, we are doing the Women of the Niners event tomorrow, and so I
So
don't
when
know
you
if this
guys hear
podcast will
this-
be out, but I love doing this event so much. I love how diehard this community of Niner fans are, and all the women, and that we come together and do yoga and laugh and make jokes, and I kind of roast you during half of it, even though you're not there. But like it is. There's rumors that there might be a
I'm not going to go
sighting.
anymore now.
There might be a sighting. I know. Claire can vouch. I've told some George jokes in the past.
No one
but
tells
it
me
is-
any of this.
It's just a really special event, and since it is the salute to service game, we have Operation Freedom Paws coming again, and they have a couple different people bringing their dogs, and
Oh, it's lovely.
I know, and it'll be really, really special. So
Perfect.
we're really excited. All right, Bruce, do you have any hidden pearls or any quotes that you'd like to wrap up with?
I got one.
Give my hidden.
I have a quote.
Okay.
I think the one I said last week was small, consistent steps taken in the same direction produce amazing results, which is one of my favorite ones. This is one of my other favorite ones. Life is a choice. Each day, each moment, each breath, it is all a choice. We choose who we will be, what we will think, how we will live, what we will fight for, live for, and eventually die for. And on that is a card. That's a card from my dad with a quote on it. But there's a picture of a scene from The Matrix 3. I don't know if you guys watched that. Keanu Reeves as Neo. And the bad guy's saying to him, why, Mr. Anderson, why? Why do you persist? Why, Mr. Anderson, why? Why do you persist? He looks up at them in the pouring rain and he says, because I choose to. And it's just a choice. And that's something I think about every single day. So choose to live.
I
choose to live great.
I actually wrote that.
That's your quote?
That's my quote.
Yeah, well.
I wrote it. But anyway.
Why did you put your name on it? Everyone else, you put their name underneath it.
It was a card for you. Like I
No, the Mr. Anderson part's up top. Why?
Yeah.
Why? That's him. But the quote underneath is just a picture associated with it.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, I'm going to skip the one I put in. We'll use that one for next week.
Yeah, use that for next week.
That's really good. So, but anyway, yeah. So life, that's a choice, which brings us full circle back to mindfulness.
I am mindful that it's my bedtime.
It is. Anyway, so we want to thank you guys for watching us. Thanks for joining us again. We want to thank our crew here, who's been hardly noticeable around the house for the last 3 hours. Super exciting for that.
What crew?
Claire, glad to have you. Cody, we had a moment for a question. Did you have? Okay, go.
Come on, you can't be a little stupid.
It's a question from George Thompson.
Obviously.
Romano, question. Since you talked about, since you brought up CJ Stroud, he said that basketball players want to be football players, football players want to be basketball players, but everybody else wants to be baseball players. How true is that?
The only thing about baseball that I would like is the money and the guarantees. And your body probably feels better than mine. And you can play longer, allegedly. Play forever. I know, but you don't really get the only violence that you get is like if you hit somebody with a baseball, but then you get fought and kicked out of the game. Allegedly.
But I can do that.
It's true.
Yeah, but there's wicked toe
I disagree
injuries,
with them. But
shoulders and elbows.
Your guys' CBA
Yeah.
and your money is way better.
We're
It's
not
all-
going into that. We're just talking about being,
for the joy of the game.
No, football. I bleed it and die for it
Yeah.
any day of the week. No questions asked.
But for those of you who want to be baseball players, we
No
encourage
one
you
wants
to
to be a
go.
baseball player.
You go be
Quarterback.
passionate about what you care about. All right.
A quarterback.
So
wants
we
to be a
are a
baseball
wrap.
player.
Cody
but
Ponce.
we really all want to be golfers.
That's fair.
That's fair. All right. So signing off here. And
That's
we
funny.
thank you. Thank you, Cody. And everybody. Emmy, we love you. Georgie, have a super great week. We're excited about the Bucs game and
Yep.
all of that kind of stuff.
Bucks week.
It's Bucs week. Good night.